Hey, Anime here, and in this video, I want to talk about a new anime I've been watching entitled Super Cub, and it's as simple as that. So pull up a chair and let's discuss.
Their power to overwhelm and destroy the world's most shocking monster.
Super Cub is a slice-of-life anime that follows a second-year student named Koguma. She describes herself as having no money, no parents, no friends, no hobbies, and ultimately, no goals. She's a recluse who lives in an apartment by herself and quickly fades into the background when she's at school or really any social setting. Her life changes, however, when she decides to buy herself a Super Cub because she is tired of riding her bike up a steep hill. This is really the gist of the anime without spoiling too much. So now I'm going to give you fair warning that there will be spoilers ahead because I want to discuss the first 3 episodes in depth. You have been warned. Episode 1 introduces us to Koguma and she narrates everything I mentioned before, not having money, parents, etc. When we see her at school, she's in English class and one of the sentences that the class is learning is, "They knew they could go anywhere with a motorcycle." This is obvious foreshadowing because lo and behold, Koguma does buy herself a motorcycle and it's almost as random as that. Instead of one more day pedaling her bike back to her apartment, she sees a man pass her on his motorcycle, and she does a 180 and goes to the nearest cycle shop. Initially, she is deterred by the high prices of the bikes, but the shopkeeper suggests a used model, a Super Cub. Why is it so cheap, even for being a used model? Well, the 3 previous owners died on it. As of now, I don't know if this is foreshadowing or if this means anything, but I think it's a detail that I'm going to keep in mind for the rest of the series because I think it does have some significance. But upon buying the Super Cub, we start to see a change in Koguma and artistically a change in the style of the episode. At first, the colors are dull and chalky, but when she gets the bike, the colors become more bright and lively. It really shows how her life is starting to change. The rest of the episode follows her slowly learning how to be a cycle owner. She has to figure out things like why the engine won't start and even how to fill up the tank with gas. But things are looking up because she's very happy to now have a cub. In episode 2, the girl with nothing makes a friend, Reiko. Koguma is at school in a home economics class and casually brings up that she rode her motorcycle to school. This gets the students excited. They're surprised she got her license and want to know what she rides. However, upon finding out she rides a Super Cub, which is more akin to a moped than a motorcycle, the classmates quickly lose interest, except for Reiko, who wants to see the bike after school. This is when we learn that Reiko is a gearhead and totally nerds out over the Super Cub, and then shows off her own cycle. I enjoyed this interaction because I was able to put myself in Koguma's shoes. She felt the need to remind Reiko that it was a used cycle, basically suggesting that it wasn't anything special, but Reiko still loved it for it being a Super Cub. I'm a Mustang driver, and while mine is a much older model without all the bells and whistles, I often find myself meeting people literally on the street who are Mustang drivers and admire it for being just that. This bonding of Super Cub owners opens new pathways for Koguma because she is introduced to the idea that was given in the English lesson in the first episode. Reiko tells her that she's a Super Cub owner and can go as far and away that she wants to. The rest of the episode sees Koguma finally divert from her usual path home and stop at a grocery store, realizing that there are unknown places, unknown streets, and just the unknown out there waiting to be explored. Episode 3 ends up feeling like a capstone episode to an entire series rather than a 3rd episode. Reiko and Koguma are getting closer. Reiko is always dragging Koguma outside during lunchtime to talk about their motorcycles. When the prospect of taking a journey comes up, Koguma desires a luggage box, and Reiko is more than happy to help her get one. It's watching Koguma's little victories that make this anime so wholesome. When she gets the luggage box, she wants Reiko to show her how to install it and feels proud when it's screwed onto her bike. She constantly smiles, like a goofball according to Reiko, every time her Super Cub gets a new addition. She's given a front basket by one of her teachers, and then later she buys goggles so that she can drive faster without the wind being too bothersome against her face. The episode ends with her recapping that she has no money, no parents, no goals, but now her life has purpose because she has a cub. She doesn't even consider what she has with Reiko as a friendship, but rather 2 people that are cub owners who have bonded, and to her, that means so much more. The words of a friend are one thing, but she can internalize the words of a fellow cub owner with sincerity. I have to say, Super Cub is a wholesome anime that is beautiful in how it is crafted with its art and its sound. The classical piano pieces in the background really fit each scene, and the ambient noise of chatter in the hallways and the revving up of the engine to the sound of the rice cooker making food all add to the real feel to the show. I would throw this into a category where you want to watch it on a rainy day or just a day where you can sit down and relax. You should venture out of your comfort zone for the type of anime that you enjoy and give this one a look at, for at least the first 3 episodes. Because if you don't enjoy it, you really do get the sense of a full narrative in just these 3. Well, I'm an anime, and I'm out. Anime.